You got to stay tuned to this show, because if you miss just one little beat, you miss a whole lot. So listen, while we're still soaking up the summer sun, if the yellow orb in the sky ever decides to come out, the start of school is just days away. So today we want to help you get your home back to school ready with some really cool decorating and organizing ideas. And the man to help us do this is the star of many TV shows, including Get a Room with Carson and Thom, the one, the only, celebrity designer, Thom Filicia. Hi, doll.
Hey, guys.
Did you just get wind of of what's happening on this broadcast? Do you see what you're stepping into?
I think I do. Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Yes.
It's a little wacky.
It's a little wacky, a little fun. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We know you have a super busy schedule, but we could not imagine doing back to school without figuring out what to do with all the clutter. I tried to start organizing this past weekend because my kids start school tomorrow,
Yes.
and I gave up halfway through.
Yeah.
And
I know.
You say to start with a home base. I had a home base, and then it turned into a first, second, third, shortstop, right, left, and center.
Yeah. Turned into a hot mess. No, I know, but so it's first of all, I think everyone is so excited. I mean, you guys were just talking about Broadway. Everyone's excited about that. I think parents are excited. Kids are going to go back to school and actually go to school. I think kids are excited about it. So, I think one of the things that we want to do is sort of right now is really think about getting the kids out the door and getting them with everything that they need. And we always create, whenever I design someone's home, it's about creating this space where it keeps everything moving, it keeps it fluid. So when kids are leaving, they get what they need, whether they're going to school, they're going to the beach, they're going to friends' houses, whatever they're doing. And when they're coming back in, it's a drop-off spot. Right. So we call it sort of the gear room. Or the gear space, depending on your house. It can be a hallway, it can be coming in from the garage, the mud room. You can have your own little sort of take a closet, big walk-in closet, and turn it into one of these gear rooms. It's a really great way to just create a way to know where everything is. Things don't get lost. You have phone chargers in there, plugged in the cabinet. I drill holes in the back of chests of drawers so that there's electric in there for all of the things that need to be charged. So it's a really great, just call it the home base. And once you give it that name, it all starts to fall into place naturally.
Right. And I think for a lot of folks who live in New York City, either the 5 boroughs or even here in Manhattan, space is small. So I think if you have that home base near the door, maybe you see it every day, you're probably more inclined to keep that space pretty and organized, which is your second tip.
Right. Well, so the next thing is that so when you do have these kind of sort of designated areas, it's so much easier to sort of keep them organized. And I use like really inexpensive but beautiful boxes from the Container Store or IKEA or any place like that. They have these great sort of decorative boxes that can be for all the kids, sort of school things, toys, things that they need for sports, and trays. Trays are another great way to sort of keep things, that you can move them around, you can get to them, you can it just keeps everything organized. And I think that when you create that space and you have that area that sort of becomes sort of the home base, and then all of a sudden you have these sort of large, small, and medium-sized containers, baskets for gloves and things and lacrosse sticks and all that stuff, it can look really nice. So it can be right there when you walk in. You can see it through a door. It can look organized. And it can look great, and it's just a great way to sort of catch everything on the way in and grab everything on the way out.
You just gave me this fantastic idea, because I think if my 2 boys had their own little bin or tray, they could take it with them, and they could bring it back to the space.
Right. And it goes back to home base, but it can go to the bedroom, it can go to the kitchen,
to the desk where they're doing homework, to wherever. Okay.
Right. And that's actually.
No, I was going to say this requires us being flexible.
Yeah, that's the kind of the next thing that we kind of go into is if you keep it flexible, and we've all learned how to do this during COVID, where, a dining table goes from looking beautiful to having kids work on it, to being dinner, then it's game night, then it's, it really becomes everything. So you want it to look beautiful and you want to have that ability, but you want to be able to pick things, move them, bring those boxes over, those trays, open things up, make it into whatever it needs to be, whether you're doing crafts, whether you're doing homework, whether you're doing your taxes, whatever it is you're doing there. You could be playing drinking games, who knows? But, and so the idea of floating a desk in a space so that you can use it as a desk, you can use it as a game table, you can use it as a place to sort of
So
really come together with the group.
Don't be married to the idea of the space or the object being one
Right.
thing. It can be a lot of different things. I want to bring in the team, and while I do,
Yeah.
what is the big fashion forward trend for fall for decorating?
Pumpkin.
I think the big fashion forward trend right now is that people are it's really about sort of personalizing your space and making it sort of work for everything that you do in your life. And I think that's something that's come out of COVID. So it really encouraged that. I think before COVID, it was really about personalization. There's not really, I wouldn't say, there may be some things that are trending, but I would say it's really about, same thing with fashion, it's about putting your look forward and like telling your story and making it feel authentic to you. And I think that's really what people are doing. And also making their homes really function for the way that they live. It's not so much about just making it look beautiful. You want it to look great, you want it to be organized, you want it to feel great, but it has to function for your life, and it has to authentically represent you. And I think that that's really what I think is trending right now. And I think that about using our homes and making them really livable, not just beautiful.
Right.
Beautifully livable.
I like that. I think Dan had a question about tiles.
Yes, well, I had a question about tiling.
Okay.
Only because, I wanted to do this tile on the front foyer area as like a mud kind of room, but then I got this ridiculous quote for the tile for such a small space. So someone suggested doing fake tiling, and I was wondering like what your thoughts were on that fake tiling.
Like linoleum?
It was more like a vinyl, almost like a wood plank that looks like a tile.
Okay, got it.
Rather than the actual tile.
Got it. Okay. So I think what they're talking about are these sort of they're kind of a composite sort of vinyl that that's sort of now with digital the photography that we work with now, you can almost make there's on porcelain tiles, they can make them look like marble, they can make them look like wood. It's really incredible, and they even put the grain in it.
So you're for it.
And they're quite beautiful. They're very durable, whether they're porcelain or they're a vinyl, and they're pretty affordable and easy to install. But I would also say you have to think about the actual space they're going in. I'm doing a space right now that is in a sports arena, and so using a very cleanable tile that looks like marble, it really makes sense for that application. But I wouldn't necessarily want to do it in a master bathroom if it was in a, let's say, a really beautiful house, because it would contextually make sense to have that sort of level of material.
Okay.
But in a back entrance, in a mud room, it's a great way to do that, and you can actually do things that aren't even faux. Like, it doesn't have to be a faux wood or a faux stone. It could just be an interesting texture or something that's not trying to be something.
Dan just wants to know when you're going to come in and help him
people
install
often say
vinyl.
my mud room reminds them of an arena. And so, so, we'll collaborate.
Sounds dirty.
Filthy. You have no idea. Thom Filicia, we love you so much. I love the piping. I love the length of the sleeve. And I love you even more for putting up with us.
Oh, gosh.
That was hilarious.
Oh, gosh. Oh, God, Thom.
Oh,
very good. Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Be organized.